Let me make a point about that, because I happen to know that there are exactly...
And you're both Tucson English teachers.
We're both Tucson teachers. Yeah, Hector and I are colleagues. We meet each other all the time at the different Department of English functions. But there are about 12,000 students participating in the Tucson Unified School District in the bilingual education program. Thanks to Senator Joe Eddie Lopez and the legislature 2 years ago passed a law. Has it been 2 years now? Mm-hmm. That every parent has a right and must be notified and has to sign whether or not they want their child in bilingual education. Of the 12,000 students in the Tucson Unified School District who are in bilingual education, we received requests from 87 parents to not have their children in bilingual education, meaning that something like 99.5% of the parents were happy with the program.
Let's move on for a second to clarify for viewers what Prop 203 is. Could you outline it for us, Margaret?
Prop 203, in regards to students learning English, that will be what we want all students to have that opportunity. They will be put in an English immersion class, not normally to exceed 1 year, but can exceed 1 year with relation to the student's progress if he or she needs more than 1 year. Okay. Also, the content of the academics will be in English. Also, if students need some translation because they're having difficulties, teachers can, in a limited amount, use the native language if she or she knows the native language of that child. You need to remember, it's just not Hispanic children that were coming into the schools. We have Bosnians, Vietnamese, and many other immigrants coming to this country. And so if that teacher has the ability to speak another language for that child for translation purposes, that teacher will do so. But the intent is only to teach the content in English and teach students English in an immersion curriculum where there is a standardized curriculum that students would have exit tests when they leave the system.
And there will no longer be any bilingual education classes?
There are waivers that parents can put in for if they want their child to be in a bilingual education class. In the initiative itself, there are 3 criteria which parents could choose from.
Okay. And now this is not a program that's just exclusive to a proposition that's exclusive to Arizona. Apparently this has been going on in California, and they're trying to eliminate bilingual education, I guess, in other states?
It's been a real tragedy what's happened in California. The newspapers are misreporting things to the extent that if you were to just read the newspapers, you would be convinced that bilingual education had been completely eliminated in California. The truth is that there are 140,000 students today in bilingual education in California. In fact, that's one of the things that surprised Ron Unz, the Californian that first thought up this program. He was convinced that parents would just completely run away from bilingual education after his law passed. And what he discovered is that tens of thousands of parents demanded bilingual education for their students in California. Nowhere in the world, in Canada where they have immersion, in Europe where they have immersion programs can be wonderful, but nowhere in the world has anyone ever proposed that 1 year immersion would be the best way to go. There's not a single piece of research. This idea that 175 days for students would make them literate in English, be able to read and write at the level of students that have been speaking the language all their lives, is a fiasco. And the results in California are proving it. Ron Unz bashed bilingual education over the head, saying that because only 7% of students became English fluent each year, that we were a 93% failure. Now, Oceanside, which he claims is the best school district in California, is producing only a 4% reclassification rate for their students, making the best school that Unz has been able to point to a 96% failure by his own standards.
Okay. Let's just quickly talk about why you're supporting Proposition 203. It sounds like you think that bilingual education is not working.
That's exactly what we think, and we think it because all the information we've managed to get has pointed to the fact that it doesn't work. Recently, the bilingual education bureaucracy has come out with new statistics that tend to demonstrate certain success with certain groups in certain schools, but we're not very willing at all anymore to, sentence Mexican-American students to dismal futures based on the fact that bilingual education tends to exist here and there. Anytime any bilingual educator points to statistics that tend to prove that bilingual education is good, there has to be about 10 pages of explication pointing out where it's happening, how it's happening, why it's happening. We want wholesale success in bilingual education. After 30 years, you would imagine that nobody in America would argue against bilingual education. And yet, the argument is raging nationwide because, yes, indeed, parents are completely dissatisfied with the results of bilingual education. One of the things that drives us up a wall is that every time we say this, a bilingual educator will say, well, true, things haven't been working very well. Well, true, we haven't done a good job of tracking. Well, true, all these things are true. After 33 years, these are not good excuses. After 33 years, we want unqualified success for as many Mexican-American children as possible.
Senator Joe Eddy, could you respond to that? I mean, if it's not working, why are we going to continue with the program after all this time?
Well, we don't want you to accept that premise because the data that we have clearly reflects the opposite. Let me say in introduction to that, however, that we live in this country. It is extremely important, whether you were born here or whether you make this country of your choice, that we learn English. English, as my friends here are fond to say, is the language of commerce. It's also the language that we communicate mostly in. But most importantly, it is the language which we must master academically if we are going to live up to our highest potential. And so it's extremely important that we learn English, and that is the main goal of bilingual education. Now, in California, Rununts and his supporters were able to fool the public because there was no data. In the state of Arizona, we are fortunate that 3 years ago we started to collect data. Conversely, in California, we have 3 years of data under English immersion. The State Superintendent of Public Instruction puts out this study every year, and it clearly indicates that the students in bilingual education outperform academically those students that are not. The graduation rate of those students in bilingual education go up. The dropout rate of students in bilingual education go down. Bilingual education programs are not as good as we would like it, but that is the reason that I have spent 3 years trying to put some semblance of order to it. 36% of our schools do not have the adequate number of teachers to teach in bilingual education programs. You can expect a certain degree of failure, but those schools that have these programs, their data clearly indicate that it works. And in California, just the opposite.
Okay, and we're going to need to take a break, but it sounds like you're saying that the bilingual programs are working. You're saying that they're not. We need to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to find out why many want to say adios to bilingual education, so stay with us for that. Welcome back. I'm Dolores Tropiano. Today we're talking about bilingual education. It's a system that's been around Arizona schools for 30 years. On November 7th, citizens will have a say on whether to abolish bilingual education. Supporters of the bilingual education believe that it prepares students for the global economy, while opponents say it hurts immigrant children academically. Still with us to talk about the pros and cons of bilingual education are Arizona State Senator Joe Eddy Lopez and Tucson English teacher Sal Galbandon, who both support bilingual education, and Tucson English teacher Hector Ayala and Glendale Union High principal Margaret Garcia Dugan are also still with us, and they oppose bilingual education. We talked before the break about academics a little bit. Can you address the problem? What we're hearing is that one of the reasons why bilingual education is not working is it's really affecting kids academically. They're falling behind the other kids. Could you respond to that? Or